Season 2 is about to begin, and when I said we had a good squad and we should just be keeping them together, well, I've only gone and released 11 players, and signed quite a few as well, which we'll get to see in action against top 4 rivals Elgin and Edinburgh City. So this is episode 8 of Bottom Club to Top Club, and we have released 10 players last season. One was Scott Roberts, our attacking midfielder right at 26. He'd played 23 games for us. Ryan Stott, who is one of our best performers, was planning on retiring in the near future, so we took the opportunity to release him. Declan Byrne, who'd played quite a few games, 13. Again, a few of these, we didn't really have them in the squad anyway. We also sold, however, Alfie Robinson, who was one of our crucial central defenders last season. The 19-year-old had a lot of potential, but wanted to move on. And in this period, we have brought in quite a few players. Started with Aidan McFarlane from St Johnstone, a useful central midfielder. We followed him with Charlie Birch, who is actually our star signing. He is a new left back, which we'll be needing for quite some time. Can also play on attacking midfielder left in that winger role. And he came in from our rivals, who pipped us to top 4 place, Annan. We brought in a 17-year-old centre back, Mitchell Robertson, from Celtic B squad. Played 13 games for them last season. Connor Duthie also comes in. He's an attacking midfielder right. We had to replace the ones which we'd let go. He came in from Dumbarton, who played quite a few games. Chris Johnston, again another player from Annan, another attacking midfielder right. We needed a bit of a useful backup. But that is not all of them. We've also brought in 4 loanees, one from Falkirk, ball-winning central midfielder, 16 years old. Charlie Cowie comes in from Queen of the South. He had played 5 games for them last season. He is our backup goalkeeper. Kyle Connell is our backup striker. Jacob Comerford also comes in from Dundee United. He's actually quite a useful player because he can play in central defence and also in this defensive midfield role, central midfield. Pretty good utility player. And our last signing was Bashir Mahmood, and apparently we paid 7.5k, so he's actually a star signing. I don't remember paying 7.5k for him, but that must have happened. And you can also see David Smith has left as well. He was quite crucial to us last season, played 28 games and had a rating of 6.82 in his first season. And that's where we're at. So the squad now looks like this. We've managed to bring in a bit more talent. It's a little bit lighter than it was last season, but we have a lot of young players with potential. And those players with potential are not only the loanees. So George Jenks, one of our own youth intakes, I see big things for him in our squad in the near future. Matt Perry and Cale Doherty are going to be around the team, but not necessarily in it. Aidan McFarlane, who we'd also brought in, he's a 2-star, but 4-star potential, so he's going to be around the team, but not necessarily playing every game. But our whole defence now is our own, and when Charlie Birch comes back from suspension, he'll fall into that left-back role and really beef up the quality that's there. Yeah, we've got Mitchell Robertson, our new signing there as well. He's 3 stars already, 4-star potential. But we do lack a little bit of cover for him if he gets injured. And we've got Jacob Comerford, who we're actually looking at playing for our next match in this ball-winning role to really get some fight in there, a bit more energy. He will be backing up Charlie Riley, who played for us last season and done quite a good job. Ryan Donnelly keeps his place up front, our top goal scorer. But we will be looking at replacing him pretty soon because, at 30 years old, he's probably a couple of years, maybe even 3, ahead of him. It'd be good to get a young player who can come in and really take over that mantle for when he does go out the door. So I think we're really building a squad here that's going to keep getting better in the coming seasons. And we'll try and replace those loan players with some more of our own youth products. The dynamics have been hit pretty heavily though. We're down to average. It was good. This is also very good, but it's starting to go back up again. And we still have good support here. I did actually get a new contract at the club. I believe that the actual wage per week is the same. They just wanted to keep me on until 2023. Following all those signings that we made, the season preview has us in 5th. We were actually up in 3rd place at one point, but some of these teams look to have done a bit more transfer business and leapfrogged us. Peterhead and Airdrie were both relegated. Airdrie are the favourites to go up automatic promotion. They just got relegated last season and look like they are a standard above us. We did actually play them in the cup, We did play Airdrie and we beat them last season. Gary McKenzie and Ryan Stott scored the goals in that match. They were the relegation spot and we took advantage of that, even at a period when we weren't doing particularly well. So we'll have to see how their atmosphere is at the start of the season and if they are really suffering from a negative impact of being relegated or if they are quite confident going straight back up. Before this episode, we also played all our Sports Cup games. They were all against Championship opposition, with the exception of Falkirk and Rangers B, who we put in a relatively good showing of ourselves, with a 0-0 draw against Rangers B, which we won on penalties, and a 1-0 defeat to Falkirk. So the games that we're going to show, we're going to get to see some of these new players in action, is Elgin City and Peterhead. The media has Elgin City to be roughly mid-table, same position as us, and Peterhead just come down and are expected to be around third place. So before we get into this, I am really hoping for a substantial improvement from last season. I know that the cohesion has been hit by all the players have basically changed the whole team, and that is going to have an impact, especially at the beginning of the season. It's been a little bit of a ropey beginning, but that always happens when you're playing championship sides in that cup. And this is going to be the real test now of where we stand. And the team that we're going to go with is Benny in goal, Doherty at left back, Robertson, Elsabedi and Linus at right back, Comerford and Riley in two defensive roles in midfield, followed by a more attacking front four with Duthie, Wilson, McKenzie and Donnelly. And the new season begins. I've had a couple of chances in this opening 10 minutes, but it's Elgin who get the first highlight with some sort of crazy shot from the sidelines, which the goalkeeper easily collects. We try that ball over the top of Elgin's defence, and Donnelly does actually get in this time. He struggled with most of them last season, but couldn't put it away. It's a free kick now to Elgin. They whip it into the back post, and Macbeth actually beats Elsabedi with a powerful header that defeats the goalkeeper. We go a shock 1-0 down at home. Immediately going to try and fire up this team. But again, it's Elgin who are coming at us here. McCarty to Little. McCarty gets the cross in. We do defend this one well. Donnelly comes forward. Plays it through to Wilson. Out to Duthie on this right hand side. He's got no one in the box though. Wilson eventually gets there and his header's over the bar. A corner to Elgin. This is end-to-end stuff, but again it's a header which defeats all of our defenders. Absolutely miserable set-piece defending happens again. We have to try a more attacking approach, put a little bit more pressure onto them. We had made a few changes actually to this tactic. We're trying to overlap a bit more and maintain that higher tempo. We also added in the counter press, but so far that doesn't seem to have put us in the front foot. If anything, we're being caught on the counter attack every time and then finished off with the set pieces. McKenzie there tried to get it through. Robertson out the back, over to Donnelly. Wilson does shoot. I believe Donnelly's potentially offside though. He didn't move with the defender, stayed in his place. Really poor awareness of where he was. Otherwise Wilson would have been in there with a smart finish. We get a free kick, but we don't do anything useful with it. It goes all the way out now from the goalkeeper to Linus. Linus to Elsabedi, Comerford. All the way back to Benny. And to Donnelly here. Donnelly loses it. Dingwall picks it up for Elgin. Little through Dingwall. Little again has it again. Over out to Moore. Is this Dingwall number 2? There's too many Dingwalls. Now we've got Cameron to McBeath. And he shoots again from outside the box and it's 3-0 and this is getting embarrassing. I know how important cohesion is from previous saves, but to lose 3-0 in your first game, not show any effort to really take a couple of your own chances, it's quite worrisome for where we're going to go in the future in this squad. We need to demand more for the last 5 minutes of this. This has been absolutely awful. They need to get more of the shots on target. They've had everything else in the game. We've been picked off by counter-attacks and set pieces. To make it worse, Elgin is currently suffering from tiredness. Mackenzie is also suffering, so bring on Johnston for him, put Duthie on that left-hand side. A little bit of tweak there, put a box-to-box midfielder role, so he's not just doing something defensively. We'll keep the deep line playmaker though. We're just going to go very attacking. We've got to find a way of getting past this defence and scoring from a couple of our chances. Balmore a chance to whip this ball in, it does, but Johnston puts his header wide. Really poor effort. With another corner, Riley whips it in, but it's defended well. Back out to Riley. Does get another cross in. Duthie at the back post. Gets above the goalkeeper. Again, it's been disallowed. That's the second one so far this game. He's offside. Luck has not been on our side. Linus now on this right hand side to Balmer. Back to Comerford. Comerford whips the ball in. I think Johnson's offside yet again. 3 goals now disallowed by really poor awareness in that front position. I think we'll have a look at the new guy, Mahmood. Linus is continuing his poor form from last season. And quite frankly, he's going to be out the door soon. Mahmood gets his first touch. Back out to Mahmood. He crosses it in for Duthie. Duthie is taken out by Wedderburn. Chance for a consolation goal at 82 minutes. Donnelly. And he's off the mark. First goal of the season. The only way we were going to score in this game was by getting a penalty or some bit of luck. Probably more like magic. We'd have to use some sort of black magic to get a goal because the luck hasn't been with us. Now it's back through to Donnelly, heads it on, but no one there. Hoban fires it down. All the way to Binney, goalkeeper to goalkeeper. True lower league stuff. Riley now, out to Johnston. Johnston over to Donnelly first time. Donnelly shoots. He hits the post. Everything's conspired against us. Hit the post, 3 goals disallowed. Balmer in from the corner. It's defended well again. Balmer tries to get it in. Second time, Vaskin. Out to Mahmood. That would have been some way to have made a name for himself here. But he fires it wide. Can we get anything from this last chance? Robertson to Donnelly. Now Balmer picks it up. All the way out to Duthie. Duthie runs forward into Donnelly. But the goalkeeper collects it well. Tries to find McBeath. Recollect it again. But it's back to Binney. Robertson to Riley. Out to Duthie again. Duthie firing down this left hand side again. Gonna whip the ball in, but again it's a poor cross. Only finds the goalkeeper. Somehow there's a chance for another opportunity here for Elgin. Or maybe us. The ball's just ping-ponging around. Hester now has a chance. But it does end 3-1. If we create that many chances in another game, we're gonna win it. I mean, we look like a great team, but for some reason, nothing would go in the back of the net. They'd put a spell on the goal line. So I think for the next game, we're going to have to make some changes there. Some poor performances. Connor Duthie's crossing was very poor. Connor Mackenzie also had quite a poor game, so that'll probably see Aidan Smith come on for his first start of the season. Charlie Birch is going to give us a much more creative force on that wing-back role. He is a winger. His crossing's much, much better than what we had with Docherty, who's not really one of our best players. He's still developing. Charlie Duthie will come off and we'll bring on Johnston. Cammy Binney had a really awful game. Yeah, he had a poor end to the season last season. And he's having a bit of a poor start to this one. We may be looking for another goalkeeper, even though he's got quite decent potential. Linus is really starting to worry me, so Mahmood's going to get his chance in the next game. Even though I've promised him game time, I think that he needs to go now. The thing is, he's a team leader, and I'd rather keep him, but he's just not playing well enough. And while cohesion's already pretty awful, this could be a chance to get rid of him. And this makes the Peterhead game even more important, because we need to start showing ourselves as being a better team than this. Our new youth intake, Matt Perry's already wanted by Premiership and Championship sides, Dunfermline, Inverness and Kilmarnock. I'm hoping there isn't moves quite yet for him. So we've made our changes, and the squad that we're going to go for in this game is actually Cowie in goal instead of Binney. Birch, Robertson, Elzabedi and Mahmood at the back four, Riley, Comerford in central defence. We are going to change this a little bit in that I don't really want these to be so defensive. I think we'll have one defensive player in there and let the rest of the four try and create something. And the top four is also changed. It's Johnston, Smith, Wilson and Donnelly. If we can create the same amount of chances we did in the last game and actually start putting them away, we should win this. I'd also just like to show victory to start the season rather than two rather drab losses, which could happen here. We've had 5 chances again, only 1 on target so far. It's 57% of the possession as well. We're really piling the pressure on teams, but you can't put it away. The corner comes in, but Elzapedi again just puts it over the bar. It's typical from us. We may have to try our different forward here in the second half because something's not happening. Ryan Donnelly's having an okay game as well, but our wingers, they're just not in it. They should be doing much better. Let's see if this works any better. So as we're playing a wing play tactic, I'm going to try having the wing backs fully attack. Then have the inside forward and inside winger attack, but I'm going to make them a little bit narrower because what they're doing currently isn't working. And we'll have our wing backs going as wide as they can go, and we'll send them back out. If that doesn't work, we're going to have to try the new striker, or even a 2-striker tactic. We're also going to go very attacking, simply attacking for now. If that doesn't work, we'll give it 10 minutes. Go very attacking. Doesn't look like it's making much change. We do have a chance here on the left hand side. Smith now runs inside. He shoots, but it's just wide of the post. But I think the goalkeeper actually got a touch on that to tip it round. Birch gets the corner in, but it's too easily defended. We have to do better here. We're going to try that new striker, Kyle Connell. Connor Duthie has a little bit better finishing, so we're going to try him on instead of Johnston, who's having a really poor game. Can make these support roles because we've got too many defensive roles for what we're trying to achieve here. 50 minutes now to try and get a goal and just get a victory. I mean, a win would be so confidence boosting. A draw's not a bad result considering they've just been relegated, but they've just played so defensive against us. 14 shots, 3 on target, couldn't break them down, controlled the possession again. We should be in a much better place than we actually are. When you look at their squad, it's all of their wide midfielders and their fullbacks had a really great game. Defensive, they've been so defensive, they've just got relegated. They should be trying to come onto their own pitch and really make a statement. Instead they came and threw backs to the wall. I think we've got a really good side here. I think it's the cohesion that's the problem. Instead of getting what I thought would be potentially at least 1 victory out of those 2 games, we've came into it and only get 1 point. We're sitting bottom of the table, minus 2 goal difference after 2 games. Where we should be is up here, not down here. So we've got a lot of work to do on the field. Potentially a couple of players going out like Linus, who's not really performing lately. And at 26, he should be coming into his prime years and he's not performing. He shows good leadership and determination apparently, but I'm not seeing it. Got a good pace. Something is not working with him, and the only way we can bring someone in is if we let someone go. We are doing really well on the finances now, and I want to be known as someone who keeps within this wage budget. We only have £30 left. You can see how much the finances have grown since we've sort of taken over here. That's just through simple revenue from the cup games, bit of sponsorship money, nothing more than that. So I think this is where we'll leave this episode. And in the next one, we'll come back for the Edinburgh City game and the Airdrie game. We'll miss out Stranraer. They're expected to be at the bottom of the table. Annan also expected not to do that well this season, although they pipped us to 4th place. So I think those are the best ones to come back to. We can see how well we fare against Airdrie, who've just been relegated and are expected to go straight back up. So I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please give the video a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.